Welcome back, my students, to a brand new episode of Comic Class. Today's lesson, guys, will be going over the new Teen Titans by George Perez and Marv Wolfman. And yeah, recently George Perez had passed away, and I had already planned to start covering this series in type of like in memory to him. And I've heard this has been a great series, or one of the best comics to ever come out. I've never read it, so I wanted to detail and review every issue as I'm reading through it, and take this journey with you guys and going over what many consider to be one of the greatest DC comics and just comic book series of all time, in honor of George Perez, and as well as Marv Wolfman, who I believe is still with us. But to respect these two great creators in comics, an artist and a writer. And yeah, so let's get started with today's story. Let's go. So this story basically starts off with Starfire slash Coriander basically escaping a type of alien spaceship. And we get to see that this alien spaceship basically is being controlled by, his name is Trogar or Togar, which is some type of like a military general for these aliens race. And they're basically trying to recapture Starfire because apparently she's very important. And they have this really cool space chase scene with some spaceships, and one of the moons actually gets destroyed by one of the spaceships, basically the spaceship that's chasing after Starfire. So Starfire basically is surprised that they would go to this type of length to basically capture that they destroyed one of the moons that was orbiting, I guess, a planet or something like that. And it looks like many different asteroids slash planetoids that got destroyed as well as she was making her escape. But eventually she enters, I guess, hyperspace travel, and she loses them. So she basically heads towards Earth. Now we get to see that Dick Grayson basically wakes up, and he's been having a nightmare showing him visions of the future of a future Teen Titans battle that they have as a team, because they haven't formed yet. And Raven basically comes to him after he wakes up and tells him that these are actually visions for the future, and that he needs to create the new Teen Titans basically to stop a upcoming threat, basically. So Dick basically gets suited up into his Robin outfit. He calls Wally West, I believe, which is, Kid Flash. And yeah, we get to see that as he's leaving, he talks to Bruce, and basically Bruce asks him if he needs any help as he goes out basically in his Robin outfit. And we get to see that Dick kind of like tells him that he can handle it all by himself. And I think that this is kind of showing that there's a type of like divide between Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne at this point in their history. I haven't read all of Batman, so I don't know where exactly this takes place in, what part of the timeline, but I'm guessing this is when they start having a bit of a falling out because of Dick basically wanting to have some independence from Batman slash Bruce Wayne. So we get to see that Dick goes out, and he basically sees Raven up ahead, basically going to get some more members of the new Teen Titans. We get introduced to Donna Troy, which is a person that studied under Wonder Woman and went to live on the Amazon's island of the Mascara. And it's pretty interesting. We get to see what her backstory was, and basically seeing, like, I guess her parents get killed in a fire, stuff like that. So that was really cool. And we get to see that Dick Grayson meets up with Donna Troy, and not only that, but Beast Boy, also known as Changeling, basically shows up as well and makes a few jokes here and there. So it seems like all of them are getting together, and we get to see and get introduced to Victor Stone, which is Cyborg, and he has a really cool, interesting introduction moment where we get to learn that he has been turned down for a position in the football team because of his new life, basically as a half cyborg, or a cyborg, basically, hence the name. So he basically kind of loses cool and breaks, I guess, a tire or something. And it's just very, like, sad because Victor basically showing his old coach, all these things he can do that are very Olympic, like these type of Olympic-like events they can do with ease, but it just isn't going to work because I guess he wouldn't be able to qualify because of his cybernetic enhancements. So the coach basically leaves him and tells him that he's sorry that he can't pick him for the team. And that was kind of like Victor's shot to getting into, like, I guess, the varsity and eventually going pro. So it's kind of like hurting him, and Raven basically comes to him as he's grieving over his lost life. and basically tells him that he can be with people that are like him, and he basically shows her his actual body and that there's no one really like him and that he's called Cyborg. But eventually they come together, the entire team, as an alien invasion. The aliens that were chasing after Starfire show up on Earth, and they start their alien invasion to capture or recapture Starfire. So the Teen Titans get into a battle where they all have to work together to save the city from this alien invasion. And we all get to see all their different type of abilities, such as Wally's speed, Cyborg's ability to use energy and be able to take in energy and not get affected by their plasma rods and stuff. You get to see Donna Troy, Wonder Girl, basically use her super strength, and Robin uses agility and combat ability. While Starfire is basically taken in by this dude and his, I guess, girlfriend slash wife that are having like problems, and the guy's basically just a person that apparently is like a type of like scumbag, and eventually the aliens show up to where Starfire is and try to kidnap her. And while that's going on, we see Raven basically appear in front of the couple, tell them that she's gonna have to take Starfire into her care, and Raven's basically weakened by having to keep traveling everywhere over and over and over, and in this weakened state she gets attacked by one of these alien guards and gets knocked out. We get to see that the alien guards are basically taking Starfire to their ship or trying to get her back. When they open some type of portal device that starts opening like a type of black hole, which is trying to suck up Cyborg, Kid Flash, and Beast Boy. And the aliens basically make off with Coriander, basically Starfire. So while they're getting, almost sucked in, Cyborg is using his cybernetic strength to basically try to keep Wally and Beast Boy and himself from going into this black hole slash teleportation wormhole. And Donna uses her super strength to basically pull them out of this hole, or to keep them from going completely into it, which is a massive feat of strength for Donna Troy in this first issue, which I thought was really cool. Raven basically wakes up and says that she needs to get them to where Starfire's at, basically, to save her. So they basically find their way to the ship before it can get into space, I'm guessing, and they basically take on the attack to the aliens to go and save Starfire. Now, while the heroes are battling the alien invaders, they basically, Raven basically uses Cyborg cybernetics and tells them that he has some knowledge in how to use cybernetics that needs to try to get their ship to basically go back to Earth, before they head into interstellar space or something like that. Or maybe not to have them contact their fellow aliens in the cosmos, because then they can find Earth and stuff like that and find where they're at. So we get to see that Robin basically saves Starfire. Starfire wakes up and she attacks the aliens, basically killing them, it seems, and she shows just how powerful she actually is compared to the rest of her teammates, or future teammates, I guess I should say. And yeah, so Cyborg and Raven are surprised by the power that Starfire showed, and they basically use Beast Boy and Cyborg working together to get Beast Boy to connect some type of wire into the mainframe, and this basically sets it up to self-detonate, which Beast Boy asks Cyborg what exactly did he have him do, and Cyborg basically tells him they all need to get out of the ship. And while they're out of the ship and land to the ground, we get to see that the ship that's in the sky basically explodes into pieces. And yeah, we get to see that the leader, which is, I think his name was Tagar or something like that, or Trogar something, which is the leader of this alien race, it seems, was planning on killing the dude that was leading this army, anyway. So you didn't really see it as a loss, other than that they weren't able to get Starfire back. So I'm guessing they'll eventually do a future invasion and get her back, or the Titans will be in space in a future story, and we'll have to deal with these guys and their leader, the king of this alien race, in the future, in a future battle. But now that the threat is finished and it's gone, we get to see that Raven basically tells them that now they have the full team together, with Starfire being included, and that they are now the new Teen Titans. And we get to see that guy that was in that relationship with that woman that what took in, he took in Starfire, it was actually working with someone. Which I'm not sure if he was working with the aliens or if he was working with the villain of the next issue. But this is really cool. And we get to see, like I said, that they're already setting up things for the future. And we get to see that, like the final panel says that the Hive basically wants to see the same thing that Grant wants to see. The guy's named Grant, which is that he wants the Hive to take out the Titans, basically. So I'm wondering if Grant will be a bigger character in the next few issues, and if when the Hive is introduced, if Grant's going to be some big character for the Hive, and maybe he's like a future villain that I know about. From like the Teen Titans cartoon and that, because I know the Hive was in there. Maybe he's one of those characters that was in that academy, basically one of his main students. I don't know. But overall, that was it. That was the end of the issue. And it says basically next will be today the Terminator be here. So it seems like Slade Wilson slash Deathstroke will be the villain of issue 2, and we'll see if that's a story arc or what, or if it's gonna be like a one issue, one shot story. But that's gonna be it, guys. That was the New Teen Titans issue number 1 by George Perez and Marv Wolfman. Overall, a very solid introduction issue, a very solid number 1 issue. It starts the story off really good. We get our full team assembled in this first issue, and each one has a good personality and has their own flair to them, which I really enjoyed. And the alien invasion is a very simple, bring together the team plot that usually works every time. It's very basic, very simple, and it's a good way to introduce your characters so that there's not too much plot focus, to where it just drowns out all the characters and their personalities and why you should like them. I think that they really aced this first issue, and I'm pretty sure issue 2 will have a lot more plot-based dialogue and storytelling, considering it'll be the debut of Deathstroke, if I'm correct, for the Teen Titans as their main arch enemy. So that's gonna be really cool to cover, and we will be covering it either this week or next week, issue number 2. But that's gonna be all, guys. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to check out as these issue reviews are coming out. We're gonna cover the entire series. I don't know how long it'll take to cover the entire series, but we will be doing it, and I feel like I'm really gonna enjoy this series as much as y'all will probably enjoy it. Link description down below. Check it out legally on Comixology/Amazon.com now that they're fused, but the link will be in the description down below. Check it out legally. And yeah, until next video, guys, God bless you. Until next lesson, keep on reading those comments.